How religious is the mob?
How what?
How religious is the mob?
You know, the funny thing, guys used to go to church. I mean, I grew up a Catholic from kindergarten right through high school. I was an altar boy the whole bit. But for me, Catholicism was like a subject in school. You know, a lot of rules, a lot of regulations. You're going to hell, you don't do this. It was like, okay, I got it, okay, but don't bother me with it right now, you know? But yet you see guys that, you know, maybe last night they had to kill somebody, and then on Ash Wednesday, they got ashes on their head. I always thought that was kind of ironic, but you saw a lot of that. You know,
did they truly believe? Yeah.
They believed in God, yeah. They believed in God, no question about it. But did they act that way? No.
How did they reconcile that? How did they put the two together?
I'll tell you how we reconcile it. You know, Halloween night, 1975, I take a blood oath, you know, and I devote my life to the Mafia, Cosa Nostra. And when you take that oath, you say this: no matter what, this comes first before anything else in my life. If your mother is sick and dying, you're at her bedside, we call you, you got to leave your mother and go there. That's the commitment you're making, right? Okay. So you're told straight out, you make a mistake, we have policy in that life. You never mess with anybody's wife, daughter, sister, mother. Yep. Death. Yeah. You sell drugs right now, you're going to die. During my era, you weren't allowed to deal with drugs. It was a great rule. Couldn't do it, all right? Were guys doing it on the side, sneaking around? Yeah, but you couldn't do it, right? And they tell you straight out, you break a rule, your best friend may walk you into a room and you don't walk out again because you can't violate the rules. Yep. Okay, so that's what you live by, and you get it. So that you justify certain things. Well, this guy broke the rule. I'll tell you what happened to me one night, Andrew. In that life, you're always going to be put on a spot at some point in time. So there was, without getting into the whole story, because I've said it so many times, I was walked into a room one night, didn't know if I was going to walk out again. Was I scared? You bet, because I knew the experience. I was a captain at that point. I was scared. People said, why didn't you cut and run? It was robotic at that point. Hey, if this is it, you know? Gonna die, I'm gonna die. I had to walk down the stairs into a basement apartment. When that door opened, I knew the setup. I said, this might be my last breath. I don't know how I didn't faint, I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm not a scary guy, I could live up to things. But anyway, I'm here, it worked out. But I get in the car with the guy that drove me there, who was my best friend, good friend. I knew him my whole life. And when I got in the car, he had driven me there. And I was ready to blast him. I was saying, you didn't prepare me for any of this, right? And he said, Mike, stop. Before you say anything, he said, this could have been real serious. You held yourself in there really well tonight. Could have been a problem. Now, he says that to me. I said, you knew that? You're driving me possibly to my death. You're my good friend. I know you my whole life. You do that to me? And he turned around, he looked at me, he said, if it was the other way around, would you have told me? And I said, no. He said, it's the life we lead, right? So, but that's, you're so programmed that even if your best friend violates something, you're gonna take that guy out. But you justify it. Well, he knew the rules, shouldn't have broke the rules. I knew the rules, tried to get away with it, didn't get away with it. The problem is there's a lot of treachery in that life. People die for other reasons, politics, the whole bit. You know, a lot of stuff happens. But you know, you justify what you're doing. So even if you're a Catholic, okay, well, listen, we both played by the rules. This guy knew it, that guy, so what I did wasn't bad. Yep. We're a disciplined society. We're men. We act like men. We're not supposed to break the rules. So you justify it. Even though the 10 Commandments, murder is murder. Well, in my case, it's okay. You can't justify it, but you do. So were guys religious? I mean, they still could have killed somebody and still believe they were religious because he broke the rule.
Yeah, it's interesting. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're talking about.